So it's good to see you again. Thank you for seeing us. So what's been happening since we met a year ago?
Well, we've had some legislation through, but we're still having a difficult time. I've got legislation along with Senator Collins of Maine on runaway or abandoned youth. We really want to get it through. We have more than 50 votes in the Senate. We didn't have enough to get past a 60-vote filibuster margin. And it is very, very frustrating. Some were saying we can't vote for it. You included the LGBT community. Well, a disproportionate number of the kids who are runaway or abandoned and then abused are LGBT.
There's 4 words: sexual orientation and sexual identity. And those 4 words prevented it from being passed.
So how in 2015, and I know
you're asking the wrong person, I think.
But I have to ask this. Like in 2015, how do, not yourself because you were in for it, but how do senators justify making children live on the streets because they don't want to protect gay children?
They would say they don't. They would say those words would have prevented them from using hiring preferences. They would have used a lot of other excuses. And then what they would say is, none of these organizations that would provide these services would ever discriminate against these children who identify this way or whose orientation is this way.
But they do it now.
Well, absolutely.
You know, there's a youth that we work with in Florida who is transgender, and it's a rural part of Florida, so there's not a lot of shelters. So the only shelters down there are churches. And he's transgender, walked to the church, and they have a shelter, and he said, "Can I have a bed?" And they looked at him and they said, "No, you can't because we're sold out." And he looked right in there and it was almost completely empty, and they would let people walk past him. So to all the senators who would say there's no organization that would discriminate against him because he's trans or LGBTQ, it's just false. They're doing it. They're doing it tonight. They did it last night.
Well, you know what I say? We can use this the other way. So if no one's discriminating, then why do you care if it's in there?
I think we have a moral issue here. There isn't a single member of Congress who goes homeless. There isn't a single member of Congress who has somebody kick them out of their home. They all live fine. These kids don't have that.
So what does it say about our government that, it feels like these youth are being used as political tools, you know? Like everybody wants to talk about, they care about them, but then when we try to pass a vote.
Well, it's very interesting you say that, because that's basically what I was saying. If we ask, if any of you get asked this question, you're going to say, "Oh, we want to help homeless youth." Well, help them, but help all of them.
If you could say something to the American public right now about this issue, what would you say?
I would say these are all of our children. These are children who have been marginalized. These are children who need help. These are children who are God's children. And we need to reach out and we need to do the right thing, which is to make sure that we don't continue that victimization. And you can help. You really are powerful. Your voice matters here. I know sometimes it doesn't seem like it, but it drowns out the hate.
Just because you don't see these young people, believe me, they're there. They're being abused, they're being exploited, their lives are being shattered. Just think of that as a member of your family. Wouldn't you want to protect them?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.